Static GK Compilation 2. What is the chemical formula for water glass? Na2SiO3. In which year UN General Assembly terminated South Africa's mandate over Namibia? 1966. Which can one comes across if one travels through the Strait of Malacca, Singapore? Which new alluvial deposits found in the Gangetic Plain? Khadar. Which is known as the master gland in man? Pituitary. By whom is the parliament's expenditure is controlled? Controlled and Auditor General. Which phenomena cannot be attributed to the refraction of light? Redshift. In which inscription was the name of Dharmasoka found? Sarnath inscription. What money in India? M3. Who has scored the slowest century in the Test cricket? Mudasar Najar. Which was the most important industry in Sangam age? Production of cloth. By whom the rank of the different ministers in the Union Council of Ministers is determined? Prime Minister. Which of the following is used as a lubricant? Graphite. Who is the highest wicket taker in the world in one-day cricket? Muthaiya Muralidharan. How many times in a year sun shines vertically on the equator? Twice a year. Defeating by whom Babur laid the foundation of Mughal Empire in 1526? Ibrahim Lodi. Regional rural banks are designed to work in which ideal? Helps the targeted groups. In which disease do the germs enter through open wounds? Tetanus. Which state has the largest of reserved parliamentary seats? Uttar Pradesh. The distance between the earth and the sun is smallest in which month? January. Who were the two great Mughal rulers who wrote their own memories? Babur and Jahangir. How is the frequency of ultrasound wave typically? About 20,000 kHz. Who was the largest serving chief minister in India? Jyoti Basu. Which generally produces the largest quantity of oranges? Brazil. Which was the first association to be performed? Bangabasa Pradeshika Sabha. What is potato? An underground modified stem. Tubers. How many times has national emergency has been declared? 3 times. With which name of the particle boson is associated? SN Bose. In which country is mocha coffee grown? MN. Who was the only Governor General or Viceroy to be assassinated in India? Lord Mayo. Which is the best measure of economic growth of a country? GNP. From which country did India buy the Barak anti-missile defense system? Israel. Image of object is formed on which part of eye? Retina. To which group do the tribals of central and southern India belongs? Proto-Australoids. The Rajya Sabha can have the maximum strength of how many members? 250. What is function of heavy water in a nuclear reactor? Slow down the speed of neutrons. Who had called Subhash Chandra Bose as a Deshnaik? Rabindranath Tagore. The Tropic of Cancer passes through which state? Gujarat. The Qutub Minar was completed by which famous rule? Iltutmish. Why is poverty in less developed country largely? Due to income inequality. Which is the sweetest natural sugar? Lactose. How many times can the President of India return a non-money bill passed by Parliament? Once. When is the volcanic eruption most likely to be violent? When the lava is viscous. Buddha and Mahavira died during which reign? Ajatashatru. Uranium eventually decays into a stable isotope of element lead. Who is the author of the classic book Life Divine? Aurobindo Ghosh. Who is the author of the book Preparing for the 21st Century? Paul Kennedy. By whom were the Three Ratnas were stressed, Mahavira. How many bones are there in human body? 206. Indian President and Prime Minister are a replica of heads of the state of which country? Britain. What is the frequency of a wave whose time period is 0.05 seconds? 20 Hz. When it is 9 o'clock in London, it will be the same time in which country? Ghana. What does M3 include? M1 plus TD. Who was the first Indian to win an individual medal in Olympics? KD Yadav. What is funny bone? A nerve. Why does the international dateline deflects to a side? To avoid Aleutian Islands. Which Sultan of Delhi declared himself as a lieutenant of Khalifa? Iltutmish. At where were the high courts in India first started? Bombay, Madras, Calcutta. Which is the metal used in strato batteries? Lead. Victoria Azarenka is associated with which game? Tennis. Where are the islands of the Seychelles located? Indian Ocean. The Imperial Bank of India after nationalization was given the name of which bank? State Bank of India. Who is responsible for the sex determination of child? Father. How many high courts in India have jurisdiction over more than one state? 3. Suez Canal joins which two sea? Red Sea and Mediterranean Sea. Who gave the motto, Go back to the Vedas? Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Which is the technique used to transmit audio signals in television broadcast? Frequency modulation. Which date is known as the Diabetes Day? 14th November. Who is the inventor and founder of WWE? Tim Berners. Which type of soils have marked the capacity to retain water? Regular soil. In which language was the Srimad Bhagavad Gita originally written? Sanskrit. A money bill passed by Lok Sabha has to be passed or returned by Rajya Sabha within how many days? 14 days. What is laughing gas? Nitrous oxide. Under which climatic conditions do the laterite soil develop? Wet tropical climate. Who wrote Sanskrit grammar? Panini. During whose viceroyalty was the system of budget introduced in India? Cunning. When is the Commonwealth Day observed by its member countries? January 25th. Which set contains food rich in carbohydrates? Banana, potato and rice. Which country in Africa has a luxurious tropical rainforest? Ivory Coast. Which was not a kingdom in ancient India? Hampi. Funds belonging to the government of India are kept in which fund? Consolidated Fund of India. Why does kerosene oil rise up in wick of a lantern? Because of surface tension. Where is the headquarters of Food and Agriculture Organization? Rome. Xerophytes are plants which can grow in regions having how moisture? Low moisture. Of which influence does the sculptures of the Gandhara school reflects? Greek. And which tax is the minimum effect of direct taxes? Income. Pregnant women usually become deficient in which nutrients? Calcium and iron. Which writ may be issued to enforce a fundamental right? Habeas corpus. The latitude of a place expresses its angular position relative to which line? Equator. Which technique was introduced by the Turks in the textile sector in India? Spinning wheel. When sodium bicarbonate is heated, what is the product obtained? Na2CO3. The Vedas contains all the truth was interpreted by which person? Swami Dayanand. From where is the term Sufi derived? From a type of garment. Which organ cannot transplanted? Brain. What is the total number of high court in India at present? 24. If a liquid wets a solid surface, what is the angle of contact? Less than 90. From where was the term Congress derived? The history of North America. What was the most appropriate measure of a country's economic growth? Per capita real income. By which antibodies are produced in the plasma of blood? Lymphocytes. Which forms of coal is the oldest? Anthracite. By whom was the Public Works Department set up in India? Lord Dalhousie. After a no confidence motion is admitted to the Lok Sabha, who decides a date for the debate? Lok Sabha Speaker. Which noble gas was discovered in chromosphere of the sun? Helium. Which country hosted the 2014 Commonwealth Games? Scotland. Which east flowing river of India forms Rift Valley due to down warping? Damodar. During which viceroyalty system of budget was introduced in India? Cunning. Thanks friends, this is the end of this compilation 2.